My mum will die before I turn 18 and I need make the most of it. This has been an emotional post to make and I got the news the other day. If you want the details I can say, but it is an incredibly rare brain disease. My mum is a very loving and incredibly nice person who has done so much for me and I do not want to lose. I hope people here can help me make the most of her last few years. I know the world isn't in the right state for this suggestion right now, but I suggest traveling with her as much as possible. I'm extremely sorry to hear about your mom. My mom died 3 years ago. She died from her sickness within 5 years. Take videos, go on trips, take tons of pictures. Make videos and notes about everything. Ask questions like what her first job was or her wedding song, anything and everything you can think of that you haven't yet. Pick her favorite shirt and make a pillow. Get her to record happy birthday, I love you, her singing your favorite song, so you can have it when you're sad or when you're happy. Have her write I love you _. Make a necklace or bookmark you can keep forever. This will be the hardest thing to go through, by remember she loves you and always will. The days will be long after she is gone. Your sadness will overcome you some days, but she would want you to continue on forever. Days will be hard, but each will get better in time. You can PM me if you ever need anything. I'm so sorry this is going to happen. Ask her to write letters for future you for you to open on special occasions like graduation, wedding, birth of first child, etc. I find that I miss family the most on happy occasions. I'm sorry about your mom. Make sure she always knows how much you appreciate her and why. Keep telling her more than once. Spend as much time with her as possible. Have her tell you everything she can about her childhood, growing up, etc. and record it. This way not only will you have it, but her grandchildren will know who their granny was. Pre-celebrate anything you can, and take pictures/video. Rent a cap and gown and pre-celebrate high school graduation. Rent a different cap and gown and pre-celebrate college graduation. I even saw a video once of a man who was dying, and before he died he had all 3 of his daughters, even the preteen, dress up in wedding gowns so he could walk them down the aisle for the wedding that he would miss. Ask for her advice now on things that will happen to you after she is gone, such as girlfriends/boyfriends, marriage, children, cars, housing, or whatever. Ask other young adults and middle-aged people for ideas of what to ask for advice on. Record the sessions. That way you will have her advice when the time comes that you need it, and you won't be sad because she isn't around to ask. I hope this inspires you to think of other things as well, but remember that time is your most precious asset right now and you shouldn't waste it, especially with brain tumors. Just like the Alzheimer's my mom had, the person's functionality can get very low as time goes on. Do as much as you can now before it's too late. Hugs. I, 25F, get overly jealous if my boyfriend finds other females talented or attractive. I've been with my boyfriend for less than a year and I can't stand if he mentions that he finds some other attractive female singer or actress talented or handsome, or if he tells that he used to be so head over heels over someone in the past. I wish I could be less jealous and more accepting towards him. Peas. He compliments me and tells me many today I fucked up things and is a very nice, loving and caring boyfriend overall. It's just me who is so jealous and cynical. Any tips to get over my ridiculous jealousy are welcomed. I've also considered therapy. If anyone has had similar problems, feel free to PM me. Edit. PS. Just to clear this out, I don't have trust issues with my boyfriend and I don't feel the urge to control him or read his texts. I don't accuse him of cheating, nor am I not jealous of him interacting or chatting to his female friends. I've never asked him to stop doing what he does. Actually, the complete opposite. I've always asked him to be open and honest with me and we've spoke it through, and he has helped me to realize that I do have problems with my self-image. The core of my problem is me comparing myself to the talented and good-looking people, shortly, celebrities, and feeling as if him telling good words about someone else takes something away from me. I've realized that it's the problem of my self-love and I should work more on it. Thank you all for replying, and giving such a great advice. I can relate to you very well. I have experienced it before and still do sometimes. What helped me is to 1. Detect and realize my feelings and see them as what they are, emotions. The feeling of jealousy is not always something bad. It tells you that you don't want to lose that person. But then I need to 2. Remember that that person loves me and chose to be with me, and nobody else. It is okay for them to find other people, who happen to be women, cool, inspiring, funny or just really nice, because it will not make myself less cool / funny / inspiring / nice. It literally doesn't chance my worth at all. She can be great, and so am I. Try to see the good things that he does. 2. I try thinking something like, I can tell why he likes her, she seems really funny and like a cool human being. But he's a lucky boy to be together with me. I hope this maybe helped a little. I just wanted to tell you what helped me with my problem. You should go ahead with the therapy. Issues like that are probably due to deep experiences. Dealing with them is beyond what random people on Reddit do. Also, try to acknowledge your feelings without acting on them. Jealousy can destroy a relationship, but you can avoid that if you make sure it doesn't result in you being controlling or distant. Thank you. Fortunately, I acknowledge that it's a problem and look for a solution. Other than that, our relationship is great and we're very open with each other. I think it's normal to be upset if your boyfriend says something like, wow, she's so hot about another girl. If he said she's funny or a good singer, then that shouldn't really be a problem. I don't like it when my man randomly talks about how hot another girl is. I'm not saying it's realistic to expect that I should be the only girl he thinks is pretty, but it's rude to comment on it. TBH, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I think every person varies. I know people who don't mind talking about how they find others attractive in front of their so, and I know people who mind. I personally wouldn't like it if my so says he finds someone else attractive. I don't mind about the talented part, and I know he wouldn't like it if I would say that too. And we're good like that. I just think it depends on each couple. I know the feeling you get when you hear your BF say he finds someone else attractive, and I hate it. So I would either talk with him about it and explain that that's how you feel. If he cares about your feelings, he'll be more careful. Not everyone is made for a look at this person, they're so hot relationship with their so, and I think it's normal. Not everyone is the same. I used to be that type of person too, and I wish I could say that I had some trick to fix it, but mostly it gets better with age and comfort in your relationship. You have the right instincts to know it's not a healthy response and to keep yourself in check. I don't think it's a reason for therapy on its own, but therapy is good for anyone's self-growth, so if you're thinking about it anyway, this could be a good area to explore with them. If your boyfriend ever goes overboard talking about other girls, there's nothing wrong with saying how it makes you feel jealous, other than it's embarrassing to show that level of vulnerability. You'll get there. My 35M ex-wife's 34F fiancé 30SM want to take my last as his own when they get married. It rubs me the wrong way, and I'm afraid it may cause an issue if I don't handle it properly. Edit, title should say take my last name. Sorry. Edit 2, it has come up a lot that my ex wants to keep the same last name as the kids. This is not the case. She assumed she would be taking his last name and was fine with that. The fiancé is the one who said he doesn't want her to change her name. He wants her to keep it so that he can have my last name. Edit 3, it also seems worth noting, as it has come up several times, that I did not ask my ex to take my last name or expect it. I was fine with her keeping her own and us just hyphenating the kid's last name. She was the one who chose to take my last name because that was what she wanted for herself. I'd have less of an issue with this if I had insisted she take my name and this same situation arose. My ex-wife and I met in college, and I was immediately attracted to her free-spirited nature and sense of adventure because I was very similar at the time. Long story short, we were together for a total of 9 years and married for 7 of those. We ended up having 2 kids during that time, a son, 9 meters, and a daughter, 7F. It's been about 4 years since the divorce was finalized. Honestly, we had a pretty good marriage. However, we both realized as we got older that our visions of how we saw our daily lives wasn't going to mesh. She is just as she always was, attending music festivals, stopping by art shows, or trying some new hobby. Basically became what many might consider the boring one who kind of just wanted to have nights in cooking or watching movies, doing projects for the house, or reading books with our kids. Neither one of us faults the other for our marriage not working out. As a result, we are on great terms with one another. This has been wonderful for co-parenting. However, there is an issue that has recently popped up that I just don't know how to feel about. My ex is supposed to get married in March to a guy she has been dating for a few years. I'm happy for her. Her marriage isn't the issue. My issue is with their last names. Weird, I know. Please, let me explain. When we got married, we went the traditional route most do where she took my last name. This time around, my ex and her fiancé, decided that he would like to take her last name because he doesn't like his for some reason. So, what's the problem? She never went back to her maiden name after the divorce. The guy wants to take my last name as his own. I know that it's kind of silly because anyone can legally change their name to pretty much whatever they want. However, the situation just rubs me the wrong way. I understand that my last name became her last name also from a legal standpoint, but the name is my family surname that she chose to share. It may be worth noting that I did not push for her to take my last name in any way. This guy is not part of my family. Let me be clear that I actually really like her fiancé. He is a good guy who I have no issue with being around my kids and who I even just like on a personal level from when we have hung out at activities that revolved around the kids. He will be a great stepdad or even a father, if they have a kid of their own. But that doesn't change the fact that he isn't part of my family. Additionally, and maybe this sounds petty, but I wouldn't want anyone to assume he is my children's father based on the fact that him and my kids all have the same last name, which is not a common last name. I have talked twice with my ex about this, and each time she has dismissed my feelings regarding it. The first time she basically maintained that it was just a name but didn't really have a response when I asked why they didn't use her maiden name or just choose a last name they both liked or agreed on if the name didn't matter. The second time, she told me that he really likes my last name and doesn't care for his own. This is when I found out why they were going this route. This issue has been running through my mind more and more as their wedding date, current state of the world permitting, approaches. I don't know if I should address this with him also since we are on friendly terms, talk this over with my ex more, or just let it be and accept it. I don't want this is in any way affect my relationship with my ex as I feel that us having an issue would be bad for co-parenting reasons. Does anyone have advice on how I should handle this? Is it even reasonable, even if it isn't entirely logical, for someone in my position to feel the way I do? I'm kind of at a loss as to what to do at the moment. Any input would be appreciated. Too long didn't read. My ex-wife is getting remarried. Her fiancé will be taking her last name, which is my last name because she never reverted to her maiden name after the divorce. It feels weird to me. She wants the same last name as her children. While he isn't blood family, if they have a kid he will be family in a way. Yeah, it's weird but it's also not in a way. You can talk about it with him, see if he can see your point. Other than that, it might not be a hill you want to die on or the fact you have a great co-parenting relationship. According to another comment, she told him she doesn't care for her current last name either, so the kid's excuse is not valid in this case. This shit is weird AF.